Well, happy Friday, everybody. This is your Science Week 1 Week in Review. Here we are in a Google Classroom where we have been starting. We're going to click on your week of notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down to Friday, right? It's Friday. And these are the notes that I'll be working off of as I do this review. You don't have to memorize these or print these. It's just kind of putting it out there to tell you what we did this week. We started with lab safety. The main things we want to learn from lab safety is to follow instructions, wash your hands, no running, just use common sense in the lab. As we do labs and as we get back in there, I'll review specific safety considerations for each one. That's why we really didn't need to spend a whole lot of time on that. The metric system we started, we'll be doing more of this in chemistry. So again, it's not something we had to do really a lot of this week because you'll see more of it, but it's international units of measurement. It's used all over the world. The meter is the standard unit of measurement. The USA and Uganda have not adopted it as the official unit of measurement, but it's very well embedded in our society. It's used a lot in business and in trade. It's used all over the world too, so it's the same where you go. Mathematically, it's a lot easier. You're just multiplying or divided by 10, but it's not relevant to you, which, as I explained in class, that's not your fault. There it isn't. But mathematically, technically, it's much, much easier. In the metric system, we have the gram, which is the unit of mass. It's how much matter something contains. A paper clip is 1 gram. You heard me use kilogram and milligram, some of the prefixes. We'll get into those at a different time. A kilogram is 1,000 grams, pretty big unit. Then you had the liter, which is volume, how much room something takes up, like a 2-liter bottle of soda, give or take, close to a gallon. Meter is the distance version of the metric system. Meters and yards are very close. A yard is a few inches more than a meter. Seconds, units of time are the same you grew up with. So seconds, minutes, hours, days, that's all the same. For your very quick physics review from last year, we have speed is how much distance in a time, like 25 miles an hour. Velocity is going to be speed plus direction, so 25 miles an hour north, which is how you and I can have the same speed, but we can have a different velocity because we're going in different directions. When I talk acceleration, speeding up, slowing down, changing direction, and a force is just a push or a pull. And again, that was a real quick review of your physics from last year, just kind of refresh your memory. And you might see me do Newton's apple from time to time just to keep that stuff fresh in your mind, because in 9th grade, you're probably going to be starting with physics. In housekeeping, we learned what do you do with the Google Classroom. You learned how to get to the weekly lessons. We're going to keep it on a webpage to keep things easier. Best way to get me is Google Hangout or email, although I can do other ways too. You learn about the daily procedures, and you learn, most importantly, hey, no stress. We got this. You're having trouble at home, put the lesson away, and we'll provide catch-up time for you to do in class, which when we get back next week, we're going to be starting some new material. Guys, you're kind of going through that now, but I will give time your first day back to kind of go through and just make sure that you have everything you need from the previous week. Hope you have a nice weekend. Hope everybody's doing okay, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.